Alright, so we're going to continue on with simple interest. And so the learning target today is, again, I know how to solve problems involving simple interest. So let's do a few more examples. It says, example 1, Phoebe borrowed $2,600 from a bank to help pay for her college tuition. The interest rate is 8% per year. How much simple interest will she pay if it takes her 5 years to repay the loan? Okay, so we're just trying to look at this again in another way. We have, remember the formula, I equals P times R times T, and I'm trying to space this out so we can fill in the missing pieces. And that might be a good way to do that as well. Okay, so it says, let's read it again, but slower. It says Phoebe borrowed $2,600 from a bank. And we know $2,600, that's the principal, that's how much they're borrowing, so we can plug in $2,600 in for P. 2,600. Okay. She used that to pay for college tuition. The interest rate, okay, we know that's going to be our rate, is 8% per year. So we're going to do 0.08 or 0.08, either way. How much simple interest will she pay if it takes her 5 years to repay the loan? So the last piece right here is we're just going to multiply by 5, and we're solving for I. All right, so simple thing right here. We get out our friend. Say, hi, friend. And take 2,600 times 0.08 times 5. Enter, and we get 1040 or 1,040. So I is equal to $1,040. Okay, so in interest, if it takes her 5 years to pay off this loan, it's going to cost her $1,040 more than the original $2,600. So she's going to end up paying something like $3,640 when if she would have just paid the $2,600 to start with, she wouldn't have had to pay that much. All right, example 2. Before I even read the problem here, I'm going to put in I equals PR times T. And then now let's read it. Okay, so Mariano paid for a plane ticket that cost $365 using a credit card. Okay, I know that $365, that's the amount that they borrow, which means that's the principal. So $365 right here. He has his card has an interest rate of 13.5%, so we know that we can change this to a decimal here, and we get times 0.135. or 0.135. If he has no other charges on his card and does not pay off his balance by the end of the month, how much money will he owe after 1 month? Okay, so we're going to find out how much money he's going to owe in just 1 month if he doesn't pay it off. And we know that 1 month in terms of years, remember T is in terms of years, so we wouldn't put 1 because 1 would be saying 1 year. We have to put 1/12 because 1 month is 1/12 of a year. Okay, so now again it's just multiplying. Take our friend, hi friend, 365 times 0.135 times 1 divided by 12 equals 4.10625, and we're talking about money here, so we can just round this to 4.11 or $4.11. So I equals $4.11. And so what that tells us here is that, again, not paying off the plane ticket, he's just paying about $4 more just by not paying off that credit card debt. All right, let's do the last example here, example 3. I'm going to put I equals PRT again. P times R times T. If you didn't know already, these little dots right here, those are a symbol for multiplication. So it says Callie borrowed $4,500 from a bank to pay part of her college tuition. So $4,500 is the amount she borrowed, which means we have that as our principal, $4,500. She will repay the loan by paying $120 a month over the next 4 years. Okay, so $120 a month, that's not a rate, so we don't really know that. we'll figure out what that means here in a bit. But we do know that it takes 4 years to pay off the loan. Okay. Now, it says she will repay the loan by paying $120 a month for the next 4 years. So do we know the rate? No. No, that's what the question is asking us, is what is the simple interest rate on the loan? But do we know the interest, the amount of interest that she pays? Yeah, I think so, because we know that $120 a month times 12 months is going to be, that's 0, that's 4, that's 1, or 2, sorry. It's 2 and 1. We know that that's going to end up equaling 1440, or sorry, 1,440. Okay, so that's just in 1 year. That's how much she's going to pay. We know that it takes her 4 years, so we have to multiply by 4 now. We get 16, 16, 17, 4, and 5. So $5,760 is how much she's going to be paying in 4 years. Okay. Now we can find the interest, though. We know how to find the interest, and the interest is the amount more that we pay than after the principal. What we borrowed, the amount that is more than what we paid. So we can take 5,760, and we can subtract out 4,500, and that will tell us the amount of interest. 1,260. Okay, and if you didn't get that, make sure that you try to figure out what we did here in order to get 1,260, because that's the interest amount. Okay, we figured out how much they spent over the entire 4 years paying off the loan, because she paid $120 a month. We got 5,760. Now we found the interest because we took that amount and we subtracted it from the amount that they borrowed. So the total amount that they paid was subtracted by the amount that they borrowed, and that gives us the amount of interest they had. Okay, and so again, we're finding R. We're finding what the rate is. All right. So to do this, what we first have to do is we have to multiply what we know inside here, 4,500 times 4, which I know is just going to be 18,000. So we have 1,260 equals 18,000 R. And anytime you have a variable next to a number, that means they're going to be multiplied next to each other. Okay? And so we have to solve for R. We have to isolate the variable. We have to get it by itself. So we're going to divide by 18,000 on both sides, because if we do that, if we divide by 18,000 on both sides, those are just going to cancel out, and we're going to just be left with R on that one side. You could say 18,000 divided by 18,000 is just 1, and 1 times R is just R, so that's why they cancel out. And if we end up doing this, I'm going to rewrite it over here. R is equal to, because we know R is by itself, get our friend, 1,260 divided by 18,000 is 0.07. 0.07, or we could call that 7%. Because 0.07, back or move it twice to make it a percentage, is 7%. So R is 7%. Woo! That was a toughie.